Good morning. Just want to talk to you and I want to educate you. And I don't know how to just get you to lock in. So I try to speak clearly, concisely, but quickly because I want you to get the information. Gross domestic product is the goods and services that we make in America. Our current GDP, the money that we can make from what we produce here and sell it wherever we sell it to, is about $29 billion. Our debt is $35 trillion. It is said it's going to take decades to pay this off. So you have to understand, we don't make enough, we don't produce enough to pay this off. It'll be decades down the road. This means your children's, my children's, their children will be responsible for trying to get this debt paid down. That's the basis. If the information is boring, it's because it is. Everything will not be filled with great drama. So you got to lock in on this and you got to find a trusted source and you have to continue to educate yourself. But as a governor, as a candidate that's running for governor, I'm going to push this education on you. And I just hope that you sit back and you listen. Decades to pay this off. A decade, 10 years. Keep it going. However long it's going to take, because it's also going to be based on cutbacks. There have to be cuts somewhere. If you've ever had to pay off something, this means you had to sacrifice something to do that. The something that the government is going to have to sacrifice is always going to be a program that someone is attached to. Doesn't matter if it's me, doesn't matter if it's you, it's going to be someone that's attached to it. So how do we get to the language that says that America is, we're in a great place, we're doing well, we're growing well? Let me show you how rhetorical situation works. Guiding conversation, but you have to do the research. We base our conversation off the stock market, how well the stock market is doing. Guess what number is out there? 62% of Americans own stock. That's 62%. So when you have a number like 62% of us, that's the majority that own stock. So you're saying at 62% and the stock market is doing great. This means that we're doing great. Wrong. 87% of that 62% is what they consider upper income Americans. Upper income Americans make roughly $153,000 a year. That's what is considered upper income. If you make that money or above, you are considered upper income. 87% of the 62% make that. So if you're involved in the stock market, ask yourself a question. Does the stock I own pay for me yearly? That's where it is. Does the stock I own pay for me yearly? If you're not in that 87% that make $153,000 or above per year, then the stock market, even though you're invested in it, it's not bringing a full picture. But because we have 62%, we can say that no, the country's doing great. We have more people in the past 20 years. In 2024, we have more people that are investing in the stock market. That's how that conversation gets pushed and rolled over to citizens. And you say, yeah, we are doing well, because the rest of it isn't finished. I did a video that says, finish the statement. You have to completely push education. And there are so many nuances. There's so much reading. There's so much data that sometimes it does get boring. And that's understandable. Take in as much as you can and then turn it off, come back. But definitely come back and keep educating yourself. We have got to figure this out. So when we start seeing these cuts, and you're like, well, how come they're making these cuts? They're probably in the 87% of the 62%. That's how come you can make that cut, because they're not going to feel that cut. Because if you're in the 87%, you feel less of an impact when they go to take away social programs. It's just less of an impact if you make more money. So something real fast. 1990, the World Bank established the world poverty rate. It was like $1.70 to feed yourself and house yourself. That's how much it was. You, as an American citizen in 2024, and right now it's sitting at like $2 and some change to feed and house yourself at the world level. This means the lowest population out there that makes the least amount of money is somewhere affording to live off of $2.50 a day. You have to be able to qualify how to make this make sense. If you make below $2.50 a day, you're considered to be in extreme poverty. So just sit back and ask yourself, how is it possible in my society that there are individuals that y'all are saying can live off of $2.50 a day? What are they buying? These are just some of the questions that come up, but it's so much that goes into this. It's so much research that goes into this. And I've only touched just a couple of small areas. There's so much more economic research, and I'm not an economist. I sit up, I read, I study, I research, and then I come and I bring you the data. That's it. If you want to know about your gross domestic product, you can go just about anywhere, but you can go to investpedia.org. You can go to www.imf.org. You can educate yourself on how this works, but there's just a lot of data that goes into it. And then how does it affect you, the person? That was the video I did explaining to you how tariffs work. When companies start making all these purchases and start buying all these things, their stock prices are going to go up. It's gonna go up. If you did not buy a stock at its lowest level, but you came in at a high level, and what that means is, if the stock opened for public buying at $1 and it is now $10, the person who bought 100 shares at $1 is way better off than the person who buys 10 shares at $10. Way better off. So you have to understand the buy low, sell high mentality. But the stock market itself is a whole nother animal. But it does affect conversation that pushes a truthful narrative, but they leave out the information. And we have to continue to educate our citizens on how we come to these conclusions. You cannot just keep saying that everything is going good. You can't do that, because every citizen, the majority of citizens, do not make over $153,000 a year. That is a fact. It is not a belief. It is not a truth, because a truth can be befuddled by a belief. But a fact is a fact. I'm at 8 minutes and 33 seconds on this. I'm going to just look this up. How many American citizens make over $153,000 a year? According to recent data, around 12% of American households earn more than $200,000 annually. If you're not making that type of money, then some of this conversation, while targeted to get you to vote for individuals, is not helping you. Is the understanding that you must take from this. It's targeted at you, definitely. And it does represent, but it doesn't represent you. And you need to figure out who's going to represent you, and start to just want to build your mind behind it. Sometimes I can't find the words to just simply say, get out there, read, learn, research. Grab a dictionary that breaks it down. Get out there, get the information, even though it's boring. Pick it up, read it, lock in. Have a great day.